And welcome back to the Stop Snitchin podcast. My name is Nathan. We got B-Rock in the building.
Sir.
And this week, we got the People's Champ, baby! We got the People's Champ in the building!
She's making her return.
Adrianna'S is in the building. Now, we want to be very clear about this. The only way that she would come on the podcast is if she was not a guest. So this is regular, just weekly podcast. Happens to have Adrianna back on it, but we must say this is going to be a very special one. I think the people have been waiting for this. I mean, the DMs have just been going crazy. Where's Adrianna? You guys broke up. She left you.
In my mind, I might have been single a couple times.
Oh my god! Over the past couple weeks, bro, it's been tough, man.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Couples fight. Definitely. But no, we're very excited to have you back. Thanks for coming on, dude.
Thanks for gracing us with your presence.
We really appreciate it, because what people don't understand is that probably half the time it's Brandon and I sitting in here, and then you're sitting right there on the sofa, and then we come out afterwards, and I'm like, so what'd you think? And she was like, oh, I wasn't listening. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, bet. I really appreciate that. Now, Brandon, run me through this fit check. What do we have here today? Because I don't see a Puma.
We got a Finute windbreaker. Got it on Instagram, so I thought it was cool.
Do you cop stuff off Instagram, bro, like that?
Because they're usually like cheap and like unique. So
really?
It's like,
like straight up off an ad.
Yeah.
You will just buy that.
Looks cool.
Like you trust it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I think that is
It's
wild.
only failed me once, and I think I tried to give you the thing, and it was even small for you.
Oh, yes.
It was like a Chinese brand, and I said, like, large, right? And then I was like, this is definitely not large.
That thing was OD small.
So that's
he brought it in. He was like, hey, man, I got this. I bought it on Instagram, and it doesn't fit me. I think it'll fit you. And then he gave it to me. I was like, bro, this doesn't fit me. He was like, yeah, it's a large. I was like, no, this is
child's
like
large.
Yeah, this is like a child's large.
So that's
for
the
real.
only time where I got finessed, but other than that, it's been cool. Like,
well, hey, man.
Yeah, bro.
Let's go. Stop snitching, baby. Welcome back. Oh, and this week we are drinking some red wine.
Yeah, we switched it up with the wine. Whoa.
Oh, okay. Yep, we're starting early.
I just put mine up.
Yo, come on. Gotta follow protocol.
Okay, so here we go.
All right. 1,
2, 3. Stop snitching.
Clink. There we go.
And we're locked in.
First of all, rest in peace, DMX, man. I'm sorry, bro. It hit me hard.
Let's talk about it. Were you a DMX fan?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about I respect him, obviously, but I never knew anything about him other than, like, he barked.
Well, yeah, that was his, like, shtick, I guess. But, like, he's a legend, bro. And he died at 50 years old from a heart attack.
Was it because he OD'd?
Yeah.
It was drugs
and
related?
That led to the heart attack, which sucks. But, I guess if you followed his career, you knew, like, he battled against that stuff heavy. Like, his addiction was really, really bad. But the cool thing about DMX was, like, he actually said it in his music. Like, he wasn't one of those fake rappers that we see now where they're talking about things that they didn't do. Like, DMX definitely, like, went through it.
Oh, yeah.
And then if you do your research, whenever you have time, you'll see, like, he grew up. Like, he had a hard life growing up, foster homes. Mother didn't want him. Dad was abusive. Like, all the things that lead to, like, you having problems when you get older. But I don't know, his music was banging though. We all know Rough Riders Anthem.
He said his music was banging though. That's all that matters.
Party Up. Like, we all know his songs. But,
yeah.
It sucks, bro. Because 50 is young. Like, I think we think of 50 as old, but, like, in reality, 50 is young. Like,
I think, weren't we just talking about this? I had someone, like, a customer, someone came in and they said, like, they buried someone at, like, 61. And I was like, no, I don't think of that as old at all.
Nah,
like,
it's young.
Like, now, was it Prince Charles? Was that it? Who died? Or Prince Andrew?
I don't know. It was one of the royals.
No, it's Andrew. Charles is the son. I'm thinking about it from the Crown. Yeah, Andrew. It's like, Andrew, you die at 99, bro. Yeah, you're old. By the way, he looked like he was 199. Yeah. So, like, you definitely lived your full life at that point. But now, 50, dude, I'm trying to retire at 50. Like, this is how I think about my life, right?
Yeah.
I'm 26, work for another 25 years. Have enough to either retire or be doing whatever I want to do to make, like, my passive income by the time I get to 50.
Yeah.
And then I have another at this point, minimum 30, 35 years to just do either like whatever I want to make money for myself, and or a year off here, a year off there, retire, live your life. Like, so to die at 50, to me, that's the saddest thing, because it's like, that means you worked your whole life, most people, right, to get to that point to where now you're living for yourself, you're relaxing, it's about your family, it's not about you anymore, and then you're just...
Well, that's the thing, like, people were saying that, there was, like, people close to DMX that actually said they were, like, not happy that he died, but happy that he doesn't have to go through these things anymore. Because that's, like, a whole, like, the other perspective of that is, like, you live a life of addiction, you're constantly battling that.
Was it alcohol, or was it drug, like cocaine, drugs, crack? Yeah, I thought he was on crack. Drugs. I thought crack was, like, the big thing.
Well, his stepdad laced him with crack when he was 14, and he didn't know.
What?
Like, his dad just, that's what I'm saying. Like, he lived a life that was, like...
What do you mean he laced him with crack?
Like, he just gave him, like, I don't know. I forget how they described it, but pretty much he gave X something that he didn't know what it was, but he trusted his stepdad because he looked up to his stepdad for whatever reason. So his stepdad was like, here, this will help you. But it was, like, hard drugs, though. Like,
what?
It was, like, laced with something. So that was when he...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so that's what started the addiction. And then that's what he was battling throughout his entire life.
But then this is my question. So if you're battling with addiction and you're 14 years old, right? Like, I'm listening to the story. How do you know what you just took to be addicted?
He didn't know.
No, but I'm saying, like, even from the first hit or whatever, how do you know that that's what it is that you need to keep doing?
Yeah, I don't know if it's that necessarily, but I'm sure it fucks up your brain. Like, you're like, you're seeking this type of, like, endorphin seeking thing or something like that. It's like a crack baby, right? Like, the baby doesn't come out looking for crack. It just, you have this, like, higher propensity when you grow up, most likely, is that if you try something like that, your body is immediately going to go into this, like, acceptance mode.
That's the part about addiction. It's an illness, so it's like, how do you cure it? There's no, like, surefire way. Like, you can go to rehab, but sometimes for some people that doesn't work, you know? Like, some people fight those demons every day and they can't get rid of them, you know? Like, they're that strong. So, like, you know, the fact that he basically trusted his stepdad with everything, and he was handed this substance that he didn't know what it was. He just knew it came from a person that he looked up to. So it perceived to be good, but realistically it was bad for him.
Man.
And you can't kick it. Like, you can't kick that habit. But, you know, like,
so
that's why the people that were, like, Swiss Beats and all of them, they were like, yo, like, it's a sad moment, but they're happy for DMX because now it's like, he doesn't have to go through that pain anymore.
Right.
It's just like somebody going through cancer for a long time. Like, you know, you can only take but so much. Like, so it's like dying is almost a better option than just having to, like, kind of fight through it.
God,
so
man. How sad is that, though?
Bro.
It's so sad.
But he lived a full life. Like, even though he died at 50, like, he lived a life. And
yeah,
like,
I'm pulling up his all his stuff right here. So,
well, like his music?
I mean, just like Wikipedia, like broad strokes. Because, like I said, for me, like, DMX is like a, I don't know, like, more of like an icon of, like, rap music. It's just, he's like, it's like a Jay-Z. Yeah. It's one name. Big. And it's, to me, it was just like X. Before XXXTentacion or whatever, like, X was always just DMX.
Yeah.
J is always Jay-Z. M is always Eminem. Like, even if he wasn't as, like, maybe... Well, I think his fans would say he was as prolific as those people. He's probably just as well known. I always put it this way, right? Like, your mom knows who DMX is, right?
Yeah,
like, even my mom knows who DMX is. Yeah. Like, once you reach that pinnacle of success, like, you are an icon.
Yeah.
If you don't have to Google anything. But anyway, It's Dark and Hell is Hot in 1998. Sold 251,000 copies in its first week of release in 1998.
Yeah,
like, that's crazy.
He actually did two number-one albums in 1998.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because then... Yeah,
See,
he released his best-selling album. Oh,
I think that was part of his thing, too.
Bro, like, he's definitely a scary dude.
Like, all I remember is just, like, listening to one of his songs. He's just, like, screaming.
Yeah.
Then I saw the music video and it's these vicious dogs. I'm like, I don't think we're gonna be
that's
friends.
the thing about X. Like, he was like he always said he likes dogs more than humans. Because dogs don't know how to lie to you. Like, they're the most loyal, like... I don't know about cats, but, like, dogs are, like, considered the most loyal.
They're sneaky,
animal.
but they're not, like...
Who, cats?
Yeah, they're sneaky.
Yeah. I like cats, though.
I think you like our cats.
Yeah, Brandon has warmed up to the cats.
Used to cats.
To the cats in general.
But dogs are considered to be like the most loyal, and they don't know how to like be fake. Like they can only be
Oh, that's
real.
so true. Because whenever
You know what I'm
Aries
saying?
gets in trouble, I'm like, Aries, and he's like,
Yeah, her dog is
tail
ridiculous,
between his
bro.
like his little like tail between his legs.
Like they can literally only be themselves. They don't know how to be like anybody else. So X was like, you can't find people like that, because we'll find a way to like finesse you or act one way to try to get something else. A dog is just like, I just want your love, and
that's
even
it.
if you yell at me or get mad at me, I'm still gonna love you, like no matter what. So he was like, that's why he likes dogs more than humans. So, and he used to rob people with Rottweilers too. That was another thing. Yeah.
Well,
So
he
just
what?
He
Yeah,
robbed
bro.
people.
You gotta just
No,
yeah.
this is why we got you on the
yeah.
podcast, bro.
Nah,
you,
he used to,
you're the music historian. Brandon just says shit, and I'm like, what? He's like, oh yeah, you didn't know that? It's common knowledge. I'm like, bro, no.
Yeah.
Half the stuff you say about these artists is definitely not common knowledge. Yes, Brandon, where'd you see that? He was like, well, I was up at 3 a.m. I was watching like 7.5 hours of a documentary on DMX. B cuts, B rolls. I was on Vimeo. I'm like, bro, what? No, normal people are not. I'm just watching this stuff.
Nah, he used to rob people with dogs for money, man.
Where did he grow up? Where's he from?
Wow.
Yonkers.
He's from New York, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Yonkers.
Well, because 98 is the same time as Jay, right? Basically coming up, essentially
Jay,
around the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a crazy year for hip hop. You had Jay, you had DMX, you had Lauryn Hill. That's when she dropped her album.
I loved Lauryn Hill.
Yeah. Yeah, so many things going on at the same time. So it was like an ill period for like hip hop as a whole. But
And the only thing about DMX is like, all the music I know she loves from like the earlier like mid 90s is still like family music. Like DMX is not, like I don't know.
I listened to DMX.
Where your dad probably listened to DMX.
Oh yeah, we had a CD.
Yeah.
That's how I remember listening to it, and it was like him with a red cover.
yeah,
that's
with the dogs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I just
That
remember
album
that one
cover is
song.
hard.
Yeah, it was the first album. Yeah. But like DMX, like gets played at basketball games. Like the way his
very
career
aggressive.
was, it's like it was aggressive, but it was like still cool. Like everybody knows Rough Riders anthem.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody knows like y'all gonna make me
Lose my
Like he
mind.
had those kind of songs,
Yeah.
but it was like always aggressive though. So you're right. It was like
Still one of the craziest videos I've ever seen is that video of him out. It's like South Africa or something, and he's at it's
Woodstock.
I think it was like a foreign country, and it was like he's in front of like I think it's 100,000
No, that was
people.
Woodstock.
Woodstock?
Yeah,
When
Woodstock
when they
in
redid it in
1999.
19 okay.
Yeah.
Right out there, and it's
Yeah.
like you can't when they show the people it
it's like
looks
never
not
ending.
it's not real.
Yeah,
And then it's like for real 100,000 people all standing out there, and you're like,
goes to show you how big he
what?
was, man.
And he came out there and it was only him. That's what I remember
Yeah.
out the video. It's like there wasn't a posse. Like he just came out in a wife beater, just saggy pants, and just went off.
Yeah, bro.
I was like,
He was
yo, this
different.
man's crazy. He looks like he's on drugs. Like when you're out there, you're like, how are you doing this?
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. To a certain degree, it's not great, but I understand that mentality of like you have to almost put yourself in this otherworldly mindset because otherwise it's like overwhelming.
I mean, you talk about fame and success alone. Like, how do you cope with it? Like, obviously, we hear like about how Eminem probably did the same things where drugs was what got him through it. Drugs like got him through it and probably like deteriorated him a lot, but it also produced like the music that you love. So
Like,
it's kind
put
of
it
like
this
a
way.
give and take.
Like, everyone knows I love the Biebs.
Yeah.
But back then, like, when he was 15, 16 years old going through all that stuff, I was always like, yo, anybody talking shit right now about this man,
they don't
you
really
have
know.
no idea. No one knows. We all go through our lives, right? Looking for yeses and success and getting what we want. What happens when you're getting that at 15 years old, 16 years old? You're the breadwinner. You're the biggest celebrity on the planet. Like, yeah, I'm gonna piss in a mop bucket and drive my Ferrari 150 miles an hour too. What do I know? No one knows. You don't know the difference.
Yeah.
That's sorry, but as like a weird relationship to that point, I'm like, yeah. So what happens when you're 28 years old? You're a grown ass man. You have all the money and you can do anything you want. Like, yeah, live fast, die young. Like, that's it.
And I think that's why people loved him so much, because they could relate. Like, even though he was this big superstar, like, he was like, we seen like him go through all of this stuff. So it's like, it wasn't like Jay-Z where it's like you don't see him do anything wrong. Like, except, you know, the only reason we knew he cheated on Beyonce was because she made an album about it. Other than that, we wouldn't have known.
And the elevator,
She sure
bro.
did.
Hey,
Yeah.
if there's one thing that will mess you up in life,
Elevator.
don't get in an elevator.
Quavo.
No argument, bro. I was about to say, they got Quavo,
Yeah.
they got Jay, Jesus. I mean, like, Ray Rice, done.
Yeah.
I mean, like, now, mind you,
Now, Ray Rice
fucked
did it.
up, bro. No,
Yeah.
we're not
Ray
condoning
Rice
that.
actually was
But don't
abusive.
get in an argument
Yeah.
on an elevator. Because
Yeah.
you're always on camera in there. That shit is out of control.
Nah, man. But nah, rest in peace to X. I think it taught me to, like, just check up on people and make sure they're good, because you never know.
Well, I think I mean, I don't know. I don't know about you or if you'd want to share it, but I don't really have anyone in my life currently struggling
through
with, like,
addiction.
substance
It
abuse
could
like
be-
that.
It could
Yeah,
be
I don't either.
anything. It could be, like, I may ask y'all how y'all relationship is just because it's tough. Like,
Yeah.
everybody has different things that can drive them over a wall. It doesn't have to be hard drugs. It can just be like an argument
Mhm.
with your significant other
Yeah.
that is hard to get resolved, and that weighs on you. Because now you have to do that and then go to work and then put on a good face for people when you're not feeling that. Like, that could be another form of that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things that can, like, throw us off, like, where we usually are. So it's just cool to check up on people and just say, yo, you good? All right, bet.
All right.
That's what I do. I'm like, yo, you good?
good?
I don't
Yeah.
need the whole,
Alright.
yo, love you so much, bro. Like, nah, like, are you good?
Yeah.
I'm good, bro. Thank you.
What's
And
it's
move
the
on.
emotional, like, instability of life. That's the hardest thing to combat. It's like I can wake up and be physically tired, but if you're emotionally
It's different.
unstable,
It's different.
that's the hardest thing. That's where you come back to. Where I'm just like, I've been doing that recently now, is where it's like certain things in my life I just need to, like, okay, I'm doing a lot of this, maybe I should do less of this. Like, scale it back. Like, get back to just the roots of what you know, make you happy, keep you calm, see how that feels.
Yeah.
Because you can take in so much nowadays that it's like, it's overwhelming. You don't know what makes you happy or what you're using as a crutch, or at least I know for me.
Yeah.
A lot of that is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, anybody struggling with drugs or alcohol or any sort of something like that. I mean, we're watching this Tina Turner documentary right now.
Yeah.
Jesus, God, man.
That's crazy.
That's what people really go through, though, man. You know? I think hers was just more public just because, like you said, you heard it in, like, rap lyrics, and you were like, you didn't really understand the context of it. Well, like, I knew, like, yo, he was, like, beating her, like, to a pulp pretty much with anything he get his hands on. And, you know, it just sucks because, like, I think talking about the mental side, like, she was talking about how she couldn't she couldn't leave him because she was scared, and, you know, she, like, got brainwashed pretty much.
Yeah, she
was
even
saying.
said brainwashed.
Yeah, and it's scary, bro. Like, how mentally, like, how a mental toll can, like, just stifle you in life. Like, you can't shake it. You know, like you said, it's different from being physically tired. You can get past that, but being mentally drained, it's like, it's a hard thing to, like, get over, for real. So,
But to also have your success tied in
yeah.
with someone else, right? I think that's
Yeah.
such a strange place to be in, because you don't know if it's you, right?
Right.
Like, at least in the Tina Turner Ike Turner relationship, he clearly was a very brilliant musician and songwriter and all that, but she's also it's more her than that, right? It's like, sure, you reach a certain point of success where you need greatness around you, but then you become the greatness, right? We all know the biggest celebrities, all these people in the world, where it's like, you're probably not as good as you used to be, but now it's all about you.
Yeah.
So we can fill you with anything.
Yeah.
She probably didn't need him after the first 2-3 years of being there, but you're so wound up in this emotional relationship, like we were saying. How do you separate that from the reality of the life that you're living?
Yeah.
It's so much of that is all intertwined together. You're like,
And then on his side, it's like he probably did all that because he knew he needed her. But as a man, he probably needed to feel like he was in that position, which is also a real thing. Like, men feel like they need to be the breadwinners.
yeah, that
But I think
dominance.
nowadays,
Especially then.
Yeah, especially then. Nowadays, it's a little more like women, like, there are way more women that make more money than men in some respects. But back then, it was like, nah, it couldn't happen like that. Like, even if it was, you had to mask it and the men had to be in control. But that's why I always tell people, like, look, like, whether you're in a relationship or a business, like, always have something for yourself that you can fall back on. Because if Adrianna'S always depending on you and you mess up, then now her, like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know how y'all feel about that being in a relationship, but it's like, have something that you're passionate about that you can lean on that makes you happy, and then you have your thing, and then y'all can bring that together.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much, I think, how we do it, though.
Yeah.
Like, you do your thing, I do my thing. But, like, I think we've also had plenty of conversations where, what if I lose my job? Like, you got me or no?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things that, like, we talk about even being in a relationship because we live together. So even though we're not married, like, we still live together.
No, yeah, y'all basically married, though.
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't say all that.
I don't know. How much time we got? I wanted to ask y'all about, like,
Oh, we're good.
We're good? Oh,
Yeah.
so, like, I know y'all have been house hunting, right? You talk
Oh
about,
my God.
You talk about, like, a roller coaster, right? So, like,
is.
how's it going so far? And, like, what have you guys learned about each other during the process, do you think? She's like, where do I start?
She's like, there's a lot.
Look, she's about to go in.
I mean, right now the market's crazy. Everybody's like, buy a house because the interest rates are low. But people are just not making, to me and Nathan, what are smart decisions. We already know, you know, lumber, everything's gone up with this crazy COVID situation. So building is really hard. It's gone up. And even like with the housing market, like it's going up tremendously. You get this like 1,000 square foot house for like $230,000.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
crazy, bro.
And what's crazy is they do best and final offer. So then you do best and final offer by a certain date, and that's just you giving your best offer. And we've done it. Like, we've put in pretty good offers, pretty great offers. But people are willing to spend $20,000 more over the appraisal and say, oh, forget the home inspection.
Oh, wow.
That's not I.
Yeah.
I will not be moving into a house that has like a septic and like water, whatever, like the well
But besides all that, like between us though,
Can't.
what do you learn?
what matters to me doesn't matter to him, and what matters to him doesn't really matter to me.
So what do y'all disagree on the most when y'all look at houses?
Nathan can see the potential in things, and me, I think that I'm part of fixer-upper. So I'm just like, blow out the wall, expand
She's like,
the
we can
floors.
renovate anything, and I'm like, no, we can't renovate.
Well,
And then he's like, and then he looks at me
costs a
really
pretty
like,
penny.
he looks at me really like deep, and he's like, if we had to live here for 5 years, can you live here? And I'm like, no.
Well, I think that from our perspective, like what I have seen is that when you're looking at something, you can't, buying a house is not like buying her even a new car, right? Like, it's the biggest financial investment that most people, 99% of people, will ever make in their life is buying a house. So
Yeah.
I think it just comes down to like a lifestyle thing where I'm like, I'm not comfortable saying that I'm going to be here in 5 years. Not like I'm going to die. I just mean that like where we're going to be in our careers or our lives or something like that. We all know, I think at this point, year over year, think about where you were this time last year. How much of that was the same? For me, it's basically nothing. Like a lot changes year over year over year.
Yeah.
So I think for us, a lot of it is, I would say that with your partner, if you're not completely transparent about finances, money, debt, savings, everything like that, you just got to do what we did, where you just sit down and talk about everything. Where's every dollar that you have, where it's invested in, where is it sitting in, what are your tendencies. Those can be really hard conversations to have because you can't judge the other person, right? Like, we both have very different financial situations from even just college or prior to college or just growing up differently. Like, you're raised in different scenarios where I just have a different mindset about things. Like, and versus, not that, I don't think either of us are bad with money. I think both of us are very good with money.
Yeah.
But what's important to her about a house is not what's important to me about a house. Like, there are certain things that I want in a home. For her, I would say she just wants a home. Am I wrong?
That's not true. I think I've been very specific. How many times, what have I said every time you come over here? What do I want?
What do you want?
I don't know. What have you told Brandon?
A bigger kitchen.
Yeah.
Every time. I want a bigger kitchen. And I also want 2 bathrooms. Like, this man, I love him. but he takes 20 minutes in the morning. Okay?
Come on.
I'll be taking
I'm
those big
here.
shits, boy.
We get up at the same time to go to work. And literally, he sits there for 20 minutes. Meanwhile, once you're up, you have to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
I get so bad. I'm like, yo, just open the door. I'll pee in the tub. Like, I can't
Man,
hold this
it's real.
anymore.
It is real, bro.
I can't hold it.
1 bedroom, 1 bath. Like, we're
Oh
in an
my
apartment
God.
here.
Yeah.
Any of our guests who have come here, I think they are like, oh, this is like a great place. But once you're sitting in here, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is like literally a little annex of the apartment.
Yeah.
And then everything else is like free flowing. You can have plenty of people in here, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
But I'd say broad strokes, you can tell me if you disagree, is if you're looking for a house, it definitely pushes you to show what you really are willing to bend on and things you are not willing to bend on. So your priorities, absolutely. Because a lot of that comes up too, is like your family, right? Like, I couldn't see my mom wanting to be here, right? Like, the opinions of family, like, it's a real thing. You just got to talk about it. And then money, you got to understand also, for a lot of what we're doing, these are giant checks. You've been there with us.
Very big, yeah.
Not to say that it's that big, but for us, it's
a lot
all
of
the money in the
money.
world.
It's our
So
relative, yeah.
you gotta be willing to have the foundation in your relationship to, like you said, you have a bad week, you guys are arguing, whatever, like, we are still in like contractual obligations to people right now where you gotta be able to work that out and move on and forgiveness and go from there. Like, so it's a lot of big picture stuff.
Which is why it's funny, because people always ask, like, oh, when are you guys going to get married or engaged, or, what's that? And just like you said, like, or Nathan said.
What did I say though? I
You
gave her
said
an option.
You're in a contractually obligated,
No,
like,
about
state.
that, about what you want to do
Yeah.
next in terms of our relationship.
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said, do you want the ring or the house? The ring and wedding or the house?
The house.
And I said the house. And the reason being is because we're
Contractually?
Yeah, I said it great one time. But you're obligated to that contract with each other. So that means through thick and thin, better or worse, we're going to do this together to work it out. And for me, it was more of an investment in our relationship because, everybody views marriage differently. I view it very differently. I don't need a contract for me to know that you love me and I love you. And if I want you to make, recommendations on my health care or whatever, I could just put you in a living will. I can change my last name. We can share a house. We can share bills.
Yeah. Damn.
It's the same thing. Why do I need a paper to say that you love me and I love you? And now if anything doesn't work, we split half of everything.
She's like, but that house though?
Oh, I would get the house. I'd fight for that shit. So
Damn.
No, it is, but it is fun. I mean, we mean that in like the most lighthearted way, but I was
Yeah.
just like, hey, personally, I can go either way. So, but either way, I'm going with you, right? So what's more important to you?
Yeah.
And then she says, it's a house, then okay, then that house is it. Like,
for me, it's the foundation for our future. Like, if we want to build a family, like, we have room to build. If something's wrong, it's within our walls. It's something that we do together to build on. So for me, it's not, I'm not saying I wouldn't love like an expensive ring on my finger, but
Yeah.
it's just like a girl's way of like, bitch, I got him. Did you get yours?
Yeah.
Did you get yours?
It's more like a status symbol than anything.
Exactly. And
nowadays.
for me, it's never been about the status. I think we have a great relationship where we're honest with each other, and that's why we work even when we piss each other off. But that doesn't matter for us. Like, we're just happy together just in our relationship. So
Yeah.
it means a lot. I don't know. I got lucky. I admit it.
stop snitching. All right, so what I wanted to get back into, because it was one of my favorite things we've done before, is a Brandon Reacts.
Oh, man.
So I have a particular TikTok, because I don't know if Brandon's ever seen this, but I think it will hit home for him in a particular way. So this worked before where he can put it up next to it. But hold on. Let me do this. I'm going to get it all the way back. Let me preface this with, when Brandon, I will put this out into the universe. When Brandon hits this financial point in his life, this will be the thing that I know that he will come back to and be like, yeah, I need that. Okay, so let me do this. All right, I'm going to turn the sound on here. Let me turn it up. and then just have him press play, and then just keep it over the mic. He knows how to do it. He good.
All right. Ooh. Okay.
Guys, check this out. We just got in a 10th anniversary Jay-Z Audemars Piguet Royal Oak
Ooh.
offshore with a Jay-Z iPod with the Hovey Baby lyrics engraved on the back. How sick is this?
What the
Did
heck?
you know that was a thing?
Yo, nah.
Hey guys, check this out. We just got in a 10th anniversary Jay-Z Audemars Piguet Royal
That
Oak
thing
offshore
hard.
with
With the
a
iPod?
Jay-Z
Bro, that thing
iPod,
is tough.
Hovey Baby lyrics engraved on the back.
Wow.
How sick is this?
Bro, that's a first generation iPod.
Yeah, I know. That's
Jay-Z
like
Hey
iPod.
guys, check this out. We just got in a 10th
Watch it.
anniversary
Look at it.
Jay-Z
What is
Audemars
that
Piguet
other John said? Corey. Oh, chronograph self-winding.
Audemars
Damn.
The AP, bro.
The gold face with it, the black band.
Sheesh.
That thing look like
lyrics
money.
engraved on the back. How
Oh my
sick is
god.
this?
I didn't know they sold this.
Bro, I've never
How
seen
much
that.
does it cost?
Oh, hold on.
A lot of money.
Now, hold on. Here, let me see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this. What do you think it costs?
Oh, that's like a freaking close to milli.
Hold on. This is. I was
Definitely
trying.
over 500 grand.
I was trying to see. I think, in all honesty, that one from that TikTok, I think that's like a special
Especially.
one of whatever. Like with the iPod, bro, I got to imagine that
and
thing
then
is
a random
like
girl
$1
just got
million.
it?
Because I also can't. I was looking before and I couldn't find it, but I know that APs in general, like, bro, like even just on here starting, it's like $100 grand
Yeah,
for like a
that's
regular
close
one.
to $1
It's got to be at
million.
least $1 million.
Yeah.
Did you see it,
No.
bro?
Hey guys, check this out. We just got in a 10th anniversary
That
Jay-Z
box is crazy.
Audemars Piguet Royal
With the
Oak
gold,
offshore
the iPod is what it is,
with
though.
Yeah.
a Jay-Z iPod with the Hovey Baby lyrics engraved on the back. How sick
These
is
people
this?
like pawn stuff.
It's Hovey.
There's
baby.
no way.
Are you a watch dude?
Mm-mm.
I'm not a watch
I know
guy either.
Jay is though. Jay was always known for his watch.
I don't think if I ever get that successful, I would ever be a watch guy.
Yeah, I don't know if I need that watch. That is a cool commemoration.
No, this is something. This is what I mean. This is not something you need. I mean,
You just
when you
like-
have the money
Yeah,
and you're
just
like, oh
yeah.
yeah, I'm
I
gonna
got-
take that.
I got the one-on-one.
No, I'm too
Jay-Z
lazy.
AP.
I need like a dial. Just tell me what the time
Do you
is.
think this is a good question to ask? Do like out of any accessory that like a guy could have, like for a girl, is a watch a thing?
Oh,
This
The
is what the
right
streets need to
outfit?
know.
Wait, a guy can have like that she would want to see on a guy.
So I am asking her like blanketed like for women in general. Like, is the watch the accessory that would get the girl? Like,
oh,
Yes.
so you're saying which does she look at stuff like that?
yeah,
Yeah.
is that a thing?
yes.
So you would tell men to invest in a watch, like one watch.
Because you're wearing a watch like during certain times, and it's normally when you're meeting deadlines. You have something going for yourself that you have to like keep track of what you're doing. So
Okay.
if you have the
Time
right
is money.
outfit,
I
yeah,
mean,
like
yeah.
time is money. So like if you
Brandon's
have
like,
the
shit, I may
right,
go buy a watch after
if you
this.
have like the right outfit on and you have a watch, I'm like. But also like if you work outside and you're looking at the watch, like, oh, I need to get back.
Then that's a different kind of watch.
Yeah, it's like a different, like, I think of like a contractor or something, like, oh, all right, gotta
Still
go.
a working man though.
Exactly.
Because what else is there for a guy? Like I think wearing an
Yeah,
obnoxious
earrings.
belt is trash.
It's trash.
Maybe
I
some
don't-
jewelry,
Yeah, like some chain.
like a nice chain, nice sophisticated. chain.
But how many chains
Yeah.
is too many chains?
Like yours right now is 3.
That's too many.
Yeah, 3 chains over here. I'm not about it.
But what if
Too
like
many.
you're iced out though?
Yeah, what if I'm just iced out?
Yeah, does that attract?
You'd
Which,
be
by
part
the
of
way,
the Jewish
one
mafia.
of the chains that I'm wearing has
there a Jewish
your
mafia?
name on it.
I didn't ask
So
for
a
you to
3
do
is
that.
not that
Right,
many,
right.
okay?
But I didn't ask him to do that.
The only jewelry I wear, though, for real, are all gifts. My brother got me one, the other one I got for my bar mitzvah, and then the other one is a joke because I know she hates it, but I think it's funny to wear her name. Because then I made her wear one with my name on it.
Yeah, I was like,
Well,
what, you
look,
think I'm
I want to ask the
branded?
real question. All right,
God.
so when you met Nate, what is the first thing that like drew you to him? Since we're talking about like what we see when we see
Yeah.
other people, like what drew
And
you
keep
to
it a
Nate?
bean, 'cause
And
I
then-
know what it is.
But then what drew you to Adriana though? Like the first thing that
Oh.
stood out.
When I first met Nathan, there's a thing. There's a podcast like how we talked about it, and like there was so much hype meeting him that when I met him, I was like, oh, like hi, like you're Nathan, like nice to meet you. And everybody told me he had a big personality. He was like, oh, nice to meet you, hi, yeah, Nathan. Nice to meet
so
you.
So he kept it professional.
Yeah, for real. And I was like, oh,
it was at work, bro. Like,
I was like, oh,
the way she
dry.
describes this build-up was like literally like she was about to meet someone. Like this was about to go off. Like,
okay,
she had literally been getting like calls, texts, like, oh, you guys are gonna work together. This is a thing. That like for real. I had no idea that there was this much coming up to it. I was just like, okay.
Well, Nate's a pretty popular guy. Just like
it's because I trained at the store that he came from.
I would go into Enterprise and it's just like I mentioned the word date and
it's the personality.
Like, everybody's just like everybody knows. Like I've never seen nothing like it. I'm like, this is like a 9-to-5 job. Why is this being like a celebrity at this place right now? But
so she would say that she was let down by it. But what was it though?
I thought he had a really nice smile.
You have a nice smile, man.
I
appreciate that, bro.
I have a thing with teeth, and then like just talking to him, like he's not your typical white man. Because if he was, I wouldn't be with him.
Yeah, he's a little cultured.
He's cold. Yeah. He has that culture. So, got along with that, and then I knew it was a done deal when 4th of July came around, and your grandfather fed me some pie.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, that Pop sealed the deal for you?
Yeah.
Dude.
Did you ever thank him? I'm sure he would love that.
She came over for 4th of July, and she sat down with my family, which Brandon knows, like family, better than anyone.
Yeah.
Pop.
He's a real...
He would be an amazing guest on this podcast, which would be an incredible episode.
It would be a long podcast.
It would be a long podcast, but regardless. So she sits down. Obviously, anyone who's ever met my grandfather knows that man will just go for it. Like, he will just take charge, talk to anybody about anything. And he takes a bite off of his plate, and he goes, and like, puts it toward her, and then I'm sitting next to her. I'm like, oh, Pop, stop. And she goes, and then feeds her. I literally walked away. I was like,
so he tried to steal your girl.
I was like, all right,
trying to steal your girl, bro. That's smooth.
And then I would say that the first thing on my end of what I was attracted to in her was that, one, I think I was always looking for someone, like I had always dated girls either my age or younger, and I figured that out very quickly as like from a maturity standpoint, like that was not working for me. Like I needed someone who knew their goals, knew what they wanted, like that's what was attractive to me. So in how open she was and coming over to my family, talking with them, obviously like she has an amazing personality as well. Then on top of that, she was like, yeah, but like I'm in school and I'm working and I'm doing this, and then like anything we're doing together will be like working into that. I was like, oh, you're like a woman. It's funny to say, but like 4 years ago I was 22 and she was 25, so I was like, oh, this is what it's like to be with someone who has like goals and is oriented and like,
this is a woman.
Yeah, I was. It's like, and you know what's funny is like that's what the first thing my mom said to me too. I was like, yeah, I really like her. It's just like she's so mature. And my mom was like, she's a grown woman. Like that's a woman. Yeah. Like, yeah, you're not dating some girl anymore. Like you're not playing around. This is someone who knows what they want. And I was like, huh. Yeah, you're right.
So like you knew like she was attractive to you, but you were already looking beyond that at that point?
I think I've always been that person.
Oh, okay.
I think you can speak because you've seen every girlfriend I've ever been with.
Yeah.
None of them are the same. They're all very, very, very different. So like to get it all the way back down to this point, yeah, I think I always knew I needed someone at least 3 years older than me, because like from a maturity standpoint, that's just what I needed because that's where I was going. And then, yeah, for me, it was like, she's beautiful, right? Like I have faith in myself that I'm, at the end of the day, there's a huge piece of this that is like, yes, I'm physically attracted to you. That's a thing. Mm-hmm. But I already knew that if I went for just that, it was never going to work. We all have to go through that phase of figuring out what's important to you. And you know what? I'm sure she knows this too, because she's had a whole past before me. For some guys, that's enough. Like, I just need to love you and physically be interested in you, and I'll deal with all the BS of being with you. And that's vice versa too. There's plenty of girls, I'm sure, and she can speak to that, as like, hey, he's super attractive. I'm willing to just roll with that and just enjoy that.
Because that's a legitimate thing. Like, sometimes you just see somebody and they're like, yo, I just got to see, like, if it would work just based off looks.
See,
so I
but
didn't know
it
if it was
wasn't,
like
though.
That. Yeah,
It
yours was
wasn't on
like
my
more
end.
of like a deeper thing.
Well, we worked together for so long prior to this that's why I don't know. I don't think it's a secret, but like I was like adamantly against it.
Oh, yeah.
Like no,
Just no.
No.
bro, straight up.
No.
The last time that we went out together and we had this horrible conversation at Plaza Azteca in Siglerville.
Oh, that's a good place.
Oh, I love that. No, I love that restaurant. It was just a horrible dinner. Is where I literally told her, I was like, no.
Yeah. Over
I'm
some
done.
guacamole.
I can't do this.
No,
Like,
over the guac, bro.
over the guac, bro.
Over the guac, we were sharing the guac.
And then I
out
shit
for that.
and a
you not.
margarita.
Damn.
At that moment, we walked away like it was over, and then she was just my girlfriend for the rest of my life. Like,
So she finessed you.
I have
Girls
said this.
are-
Have I
girls
not
finesse.
said this from the beginning? I told her, I was like, I said no,
Women
and then
finesse
she
really
just
well.
finessed me.
Yeah.
It's not a finesse.
It is a finesse.
It's
'Cause
not
you
a
guys
finesse,
plot.
bro.
You guys
Finessing?
plot. Like, you guys have a master plan
I
in your
didn't do
mind.
anything. We just kept hanging out.
Nah, you planned it.
Yeah,
though.
No.
she planned it, bro.
Yeah, you definitely planned
I
it.
did not plan
Women
it.
do that. It's a
Listen,
thing. Like,
I really thought we were just down the path of just what we were. And then next thing you know, he's like, it was like a holiday. I don't know if it was Passover or something, but
Yeah.
he invited me over for this event, and his whole family's there.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Wow.
hey, Pop-Up, this is my girlfriend,
Oh, really?
Adriana.
You just like said
And I was like,
Because it was like months later, and I was like,
He said, you weren't
okay,
going to ask me?
we're both exclusive to each other. Like, we had that conversation.
But wait, hold on. You guys at the Plaza Teca, you guys like you were no. So how does it get?
This
to,
is
like,
the hard part, bro. I'm not kidding. There was never another conversation about it. It was like,
Just
I'm
like-
done. This is over. And then we never stopped hanging out. And
we
then
just never
it
brought
turned
it
into
up.
she lives with me. And then, I think that's a hard part about our story is that, like, for so many couples, there's this traditional, like, will you be my girlfriend now?
It just was like.
And I don't know if she's ever wanted that, but it never came to it. It was just like, you know what? I left that job. And when I left that job, I was like, this is what I want, though. Like, I don't want to work with you, especially we were the same role. It would have been highly
Because you have to
confrontational.
remember, like, we're both like very passionate people.
Yeah.
Like when
Our
we
relationship
believe
is different,
in
but in
something-
our job roles, we are very similar. And
Yes.
that's just going to create chaos in our personal life. So when we get to that point, I was just like, okay, I left this. Now this is different. Like, we can engage with each other on a different personal level.
So your thing was strictly the work thing. It wasn't.
That's why
That's
I
what
said
it
no.
was.
I was like, I cannot date my coworker.
But that kind of speaks to like what you guys said when you like look at houses. Like, you have a certain set of standards, and she's willing to build despite whatever's going on, and you're like, nah, I need this,
Yep.
and this.
It does. It comes back to that business side. But here's the best story that I don't know if anyone's ever heard. So we're working together, right, for our previous employer, and she calls me to meet her at the store.
Oh my God.
I meet her at the store.
He loves telling this story.
And she gives me
It's so
this
annoying.
paperwork. This is how I knew. This is when I knew that I was like, oh, this is different.
Yeah.
And this is very early on. But this is the moment where I was like, oh, okay, I can't play around anymore. Like,
Oh, damn.
this is going to be one thing or another eventually. It's going to hit a point. So I go in, I meet her. She calls me because she evidently has this huge issue she needs me to come and deal with her right there at this moment.
It was in your store.
I was off. I was pissed. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
I
had
don't
to
want to
come
come deal with
He
this
was kinda
BS. What?
I said you were kind of
you were
mad.
kind of mad.
I was mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying not to be, but I can see it.
So I came over,
was trying to
and
put
then
on
she
the
literally
trying to stand
hands me.
strong.
Yes, she hands me all this paperwork, and I was like, okay, I'm infuriated at this point, and now you're giving me all this paperwork. Doesn't matter what the issue was. It was all a lie. She's just making it up. Gives me all this paperwork. I'm looking through all this paperwork, and then I get to the end, and I don't even know. In the moment, it didn't make any sense to me. But I looked through it. I'm like, oh. I was like, these are concert tickets.
No, he was like, Drake and Migos, you want to go? Sure, we can go.
No. Yeah, it was.
Oh,
it was,
that was that.
Yeah, it was the Drake
that.
and it was like a confirmation. But all I saw was like Drake and Migos, like Wells Fargo Center, whatever. And I was like,
remember that.
And I was like, oh. I just gave it to her. I was like, this doesn't clearly belong in this bullshit of paperwork that I have to look through here. And she's like, no, like, do you? She's like, they're tickets. Do you want to go to the concert? I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean go? She's like, these are 2 tickets to the Drake. And this was the, not Scorpion, right? I guess prior to Scorpion.
That was,
it's like, it's before him and Meek, like, fixed
This was
everything.
in the middle of the Drake-Meek beef, okay? It was him and Meek.
Drake and Migos on the same
We've been
tour?
together for about 3 years. It was like 3 years ago.
It was the Wells Fargo Center. Yeah, we can look it up. But anyway.
It was Scorpion. It had to be.
Yeah, it must have been Scorpion.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. It was Scorpion. That had to have been the last thing. So I just, like, don't know what to do with these tickets. And then she's like, Nathan, I'm lying. Like, this is a joke. Like, I brought you here because I have 2 tickets to this concert. And by the way, it's in, like, 3 days. Like, do you want to go? Because I bought us tickets. We've been working really hard. And I want you to go with me. We deserve this. And I was like, so how much do I owe you? Like, I did not understand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then that was the first time where I was like, oh, you just bought these for us, like, out of nowhere to go do this, like, amazing thing? I was like,
that's when it was like,
sheesh.
well, that is a big deal. Those tickets are expensive as hell.
Bro, and then what's crazier is we go to the concert. This is where she sees the real me.
Yeah.
Bro, I am going bar for
were
bar with
fan-
anybody,
yeah.
bro. I'm on stage. I'm on stage.
He's
In
performing.
all honesty, F Drake. I was going in on the Migos.
Yeah, well, at
Every
that
Migos
time, they
song,
were
bro.
like,
Everyone.
yeah.
I was like going crazy. And then
Yeah.
the show before the Philly show was the one in Boston where he brought Meek out.
Got you. And then he
So
brought him
then
back
we're in
out.
Philly, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the stadium was crazy.
Bro, this place was going insane already because it's Drake and Migos right now. Hilarious to think that the Migos were opening up for anybody even 3 years ago, right? Then at the very end of the concert, it's over, and then Dreams and Nightmares drop,
Yeah.
and Meek come. Oh,
And it was like pandemonium.
bro, I have You couldn't even hear
You couldn't
him.
hear
You
anything.
couldn't hear him. Then they did what? Going Bad. You couldn't hear him. It was like 10 minutes of
People screaming
only
the words.
screams.
Going crazy.
That was one of the craziest moments. And then sadly, with one of my exes, I went to see Post Malone
Yeah.
the same day that they dropped Rockstar.
Yeah.
And Post Malone brought out 21 Savage at the TLA. That was also cool.
Damn.
Easily, and I mean this genuinely because I love you.
He was at the TLA?
Yeah.
Really?
Bro, this is Post Malone like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
though.
but Rockstar
5-6 years ago.
record though.
Yeah. Regardless. Anyway. Yeah. And then he brought him out and we just left there. I was like, I think I love this girl. I was like, this is crazy. Like,
Damn.
what?
Yeah, that's definitely like a seal the deal.
But you're saying
kinda
that about
thing.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's saying that the fact that you did that in that way was like it sealed the deal. Like, oh, you're a real one.
It was next level.
Because a lot of girls wouldn't, well, a lot of women wouldn't do that. Because like, all right, this is my thing. You have people like Adriana, who's like a real one, but then
Who, by the way,
have-
loves you too. Like, will cook my best friend.
Oh,
I taught you how to
meal,
make homemade pasta.
all that
for
stuff, like
sure.
all that stuff.
Look,
Yeah,
I'm a great sous chef when it comes to the pasta.
he is.
But there's women like this, and then there's women who expect their men to do everything for them. There's no like give and take.
In
And
the
I
middle.
obviously know the answer, but like, would you like? I don't know. What do y'all feel about that? Because it's a real thing.
I think we go back and forth with that as well, with like what we expect
Well,
from each other.
there's layers, right? So
there's layers to it.
There's the women that expect the man to do everything, but then there's men who won't let their girl do anything too.
which is equally annoying.
Right. Well, you think it's annoying?
No, we have a really good balance.
Yeah.
Well, what's the question?
So I don't know the question. I was just saying, like, I was
think
just
we
like
have, like,
thinking
the-
of. That.
Okay.
I think we have both like the same power force. Like, what matters more to you, I lean off on. What matters more to me, he leans off on.
So it's like a balance. Yeah.
I think my parents instilled that in me very young, where they were like, "Look, you're going to be in a relationship with someone where obviously they love me, so they're banking on that person's going to be smart and independent, and that's going to be really annoying. Like, my parents are straight up like, hey, you know my parents have been together forever. Both smart, great. It's really frustrating and annoying to be with someone who's your equal, right? Where you're like, just sit down.
Yeah.
Just shut up. I'm right. Sit down. Like,
right.
And that never happens because you have this other person who's like, no, you shut up and sit down. Like, we're not doing that. I'm not losing this argument right here. So very quickly you learn that, like, some things, most things, someone's going to care more. Mm-hmm. And you gotta fall on the sword. You care more. And then respect that when it's my turn, when I care more. And don't come back at me with this just fighting win to win. I think we do that very well, where we share. Mm-hmm. And there's moments where, okay. And you're right, though. The house thing is the ultimate version of that. Because every single iteration is always different. And there's certain things that I care more about. And every house is that conversation. Like, look, it doesn't have a garage and a basement. I care more. I will never love this house. Okay, it has the kitchen of our dreams. But if there's nothing in this house for him, then I don't want him to be unhappy. And then I can go into a house where I'm like, this... Literally been in the house where I'm like, this has a 1,000-foot studio with a side entrance, a pool, a backyard, and a garage.
Yeah, what else do you want?
What else do you want? I can do anything that I've ever wanted here. I'm calling Brandon. Brandon, this is the house for us, man. Like, this is it. And she's like,
nah.
Yeah, but the kitchen is as big as our apartment. Like, our apartment's kitchen right now. That gives me nothing. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, I'm going to walk away from this.
And this is why, and like Nathan, he's going to roll his eyes when I say this. I've suggested to build. Mm-hmm. We get the location we want. We get the house we want.
Yeah, you really get everything.
We get everything we want.
Yeah. But it costs more, right? Way more.
I mean, it just depends on the influx of materials. Bro. But he sees it as too much of an investment. I see it as a smart investment. Everything's brand new.
Yeah, that is a smart investment. It's a long-term play.
He's got Brandon on this.
No, it is a smart investment. It's a long-term play. Because my mom built our house. Everybody had to build our house.
Yeah, all of our parents built houses.
You know, I move out in a few months, right, or whatever. Mm-hmm. My mom's going to downsize. But she's going to be able to sell the house we're at now for, like, a lot of money.
Hold on. You're moving out in a couple months?
Yeah, that's a goal.
Oh,
like, I don't
what?
I told you that, though.
You're going to put this on the podcast right now? We haven't talked about this.
I'm trying to. I'm not saying I have a place locked down.
I didn't know that. Oh, okay. Oh, hell yeah, bro.
Asking questions.
No, I didn't. Well, I knew there were a lot of balls moving everywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
That's a goal, right?
Okay.
Like, so when that happens, I know my mom's going to want to downsize the house. But because she built it and it's hers and it's paid off, like, she's going to cash out on it. You feel me? So
bottom line, Miss Debbie is a baller.
Nah,
talk about a baller.
Miss Debbie is like an alien from another planet that is like, with money, she's like
next level.
If you were to get a grade on money management, she would get like 100. Like, I've never seen anything like that. Like, it's really like scary.
Next
sometimes.
level. Yeah.
Like, she doesn't. Like, my mom's like thin, she's small, so she has a scene clothes she did 20 years ago and it looks new.
Miss Debbie just be like copping shit.
She just doesn't. She's literally the definition on, I don't spend on anything I don't want to spend on. Like, she's not like a compulsive shopper. Mm-hmm. Like, she does everything like by the book when it comes to money. And it's hard to follow in her footsteps.
And supported you as her child the whole time too.
But that's why she had to, because I was in 3 sports. I was doing like all these things. She's a single mom, so she kind of had to do it. You know? Yeah. Like, that's just...
She had to, but like...
Because, I mean, and all the houses on, like... Both your all them
houses are expensive as hell.
They're huge houses.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
they're so
That's
big.
funny though. I never thought. I will say this, which I think is fair. The houses where we grew up, all of our parents took the risk of building on a dirt road in the middle of nowhere, banking that 20, 25 years from now, it would turn into what it is now. So it was an investment and it was a gamble, and it worked out. And we're just lucky.
But the part that, she, like, you have somebody who wants to build, though, and she can build, and she knows exactly what she wants. So it's not like you're just building a house just to build it. It's like she knows
I know exactly what I
she wants,
want. I
and
know
you
what he
you want
wants.
too.
Yeah.
And you know, by the time that y'all build it and like make it into what it is, if you know when you guys have kids and you're ready to go to another one, that house is like now like it's like money. You're living in your money,
and then
you
the
know?
thing for me is like we know what we're willing to spend.
Yeah.
So if we know that and we go to a contractor and say this is what we're willing to spend in this range right here, make that happen.
Yeah. It's not like y'all want a mansion.
No,
either,
and it's not,
you know
but
what I'm
like
saying?
we would be able to like literally pay exactly what we want to pay rather than having these bidding wars where do you go $5,000 up or $10,000 up or it's annoying.
And obviously things are like better, easier said than done. Like, because then
Everything's
you have
easier said
to
and
wait.
done.
You have to wait a longer time than probably what you guys wanted to.
But we're gonna have to re-sign anyway.
Oh well, I don't know. She's like, I don't know,
Hey,
bro.
man.
She's convincing me, man.
This is why I love her. At the end of the day, we gotta end this episode.
Yeah.
Before we turn into she's pitching Brandon on the shit. And
I'm
then
telling you, I
Kim's
can
gonna turn
sell
off.
anybody.
Anyway, Adriana, I love you, my
Yes.
darling. Thank you for being on the episode.
Yes,
You're
sir.
welcome.
Another one down. What
I
is
think
this?
this is 17.
17, something
Oh my
like
goodness,
that.
I think
Episode
17.
Anyway,
Or, like, over a year
subscribe,
ago.
Yeah.
subscribe, like, share. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stop snitching.